Welcome to the Herd's official YouTube channel. Make sure to like and subscribe. Don't forget to check out the Colin Cowherd podcast, all of our NFL instant reactions, and more football content. All right, J-Mac, it is the Herd hierarchy. Just a heads up, the Chiefs are not in it. I'll explain that in a second, and here we go.
Herd hierarchy.
Time is now. Let's go.
The top 10 NFL teams according to Colin. Number 10.
I think the Indianapolis Colts have a much better roster than people want to admit. They've already got a star in Tyler Warren, Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman, Pierce. Offensive line controlled the NFL leading team in sacks, Denver. Denver could not get to Daniel Jones. First team in NFL history that went 10 for 10 first 10 possessions. I've been on this for 2 years. I think they have an excellent roster. They've drafted incredibly well. I like their players. If Jones plays at this B to B plus level, they're going to win this division. Colts at 10.
Number 9.
Commanders now played Packers Thursday. They're going to be fine. Because Terry McLaurin held out, Jaden Daniels, and they're one of 6 teams without a giveaway this season like last year. They're very efficient. They don't give it away. They just haven't been able to get the offense right because McLaurin was a holdout. Well, now off the Packer loss, they get extra time. Debo and McLaurin, they play the Raiders, who just lost at home. I think Washington, I'm a buyer here, is going to this week look like the Washington of last year. I like them. They're the oldest team in the league. They've got veteran leadership. I like Washington at 9.
Number 8.
I got to give the 49ers credit. They're not even healthy. Top 10 in total offense, top 10 in total defense, 2-0, both wins on the road. That accounts for something. They've been great on third down. One of the 2 teams picking up first downs at over a 50% rate. And again, Brandon Ayuk's hurt, George Kittle, Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey leads the NFL in touches right now. So I'm always impressed when you can deal with injuries, go on the road and win. I don't care who you play, Niners at 8.
Number 7.
Tampa Bay, again, they haven't played great football, but they've won 2 road games. And dating back to last season, they've won 8 of their last 9 regular season games. Baker Mayfield, since he arrived, leads the NFL in touchdown passes, second in passing yards since 2023. And last night was classic. They got a punt block. Their special teams were a mess, and they go on the road and win. And they haven't had Tristan Wirfs. They haven't had Chris Godwin. So just like Washington, just like some of these teams in front, when you can win and you don't have some of your best players like San Francisco and Tampa, you're making the Herd hierarchy.
Number 6.
Maybe I have them too low. I'd put the Chargers. I do wonder if Hampton and Najee Harris, when they're going to pop. Joe Alt's been great moving over to left tackle. But let's be honest about the Chargers right now. Yeah, their offense hasn't played well, and they've beaten the Chiefs, and they've gone on the road and beaten the Raiders. Justin Herbert under Jim Harbaugh, 30 touchdowns and 3 picks. They don't have a lot of sizzle, but Quentin Johnson emerging as a non-bust and actually a legitimate deep threat matters a lot.
Number 5.
The Ravens, I worry about the back end of their defense, but Lamar Jackson, 7 touchdowns, no picks, and a passer rating of 136. I compared them last hour to those great Atlanta Brave teams that won a World Series. You can just pencil them in to win their division. The GM, the coach, the owner, all great across the board. Now, their pass defense is going to bite them in the you-know-what at some point this year, but through 2 weeks, best offense in the league.
Number 4.
The Bills, I worry about the back end of their defense, which actually looks slow, but they're averaging 35.5 points a game. Number 1 total offense in the league. They actually run the football more than people give them credit for. James Cook is really good, and their schedule is tomato cans. Dolphins, Saints, Patriots coming up. Like Brady in this division, they're going to win it as long as Josh Allen's in his prime. But I, again, worry about the back end of this defense because in the AFC, there's too many good quarterbacks. The Chiefs are going to get healthy. These games are going to be close.
Number 3.
The Rams, their pass rush is insane. Highest graded offense, highest graded passer in Matt Stafford. Again, this team least penalized in the NFL last year, and their defense was the youngest. 8 sacks from 6 different players. I couldn't even tell you the last time they missed on a defensive draft pick. So, I mean, they're 0-2 against the Eagles, 9-0 against everybody else in their last 11 games. I have the Rams at 3.
Number 2.
Philadelphia, their passing game worries me. I mean, they're the first team to go 2-0 to start a season without a passing touchdown in 25 years. So Jalen Hurts, I mean, A.J. Brown has 6 catches for about 35 yards. So I don't know how that's going to work out. And, you know, it almost feels like now, more often than not, they're reliant on the tush push. But they're not playing offensively with a lot of tempo, and they don't create fear. They just sort of squish you for 3.5 hours. I have them at 2.
Number 1.
Listen, I don't think Green Bay has a flaw. I think the cake was really good, and then you added the icing in Micah Parsons. Coach, quarterback, run game. Nobody in the league drafts tight ends and wide receivers better than Green Bay. They're stacked, and they're not paying any of them. So I think Green Bay is by far and away right now the best team in the league. I have Kansas City at 11. I have Denver troubling. They've been sloppy at 12. Again, I think the Chiefs will start winning games now. Xavier Worthy comes back. But I couldn't tell you the last time the Chiefs were not in our herd hierarchy. I'm sitting there. I don't know. I think Kansas City's going to be fine. I don't have them in the herd hierarchy. I had them number 11. I've got Denver 12. So, I was sitting there watching Geno Smith. The Raiders thing is interesting. So Pete Carroll gets the job with Chip Kelly. And they know Justin Herbert's in the division, Bo Nix and Sean Payton, Mahomes and Andy Reid. So the Raiders know we got to get the quarterback right. So they went. I think Geno Smith and Pete Carroll are a weird pairing. Pete hates interceptions, and Geno is careless. He always has been. If you speed him up, last night 3 picks. So they wanted Matt Stafford. They offered him $100 million. Stafford said, "No, I'm going to stay with the Rams for less." And then I think they kind of wanted Sam Darnold, but Tom Brady, part owner of the Raiders, said no on Sam Darnold. So I think it was a marriage of convenience. Chip Kelly was very familiar with Geno Smith. Pete Carroll was familiar with Geno Smith, but I don't think he was their first or second choice. So, Tom Brady's like, reportedly, it was out there, no to Darnold, and Matt Stafford considered it probably for about a day, and he said no. So Geno, since 2022, leads the NFL in interceptions. And Darnold's younger. He's more athletic. He's closer to his prime. And I think Sam Darnold was coming off an amazing year between Shanahan's mentoring and Kevin O'Connell's coaching. Darnold was going to come to Vegas with a lot of confidence. But when I watched it last night, I mean, already this year, Geno's doesn't have really a number 1 receiver. Jacoby Myers is a 2. Brock Bowers a great tight end. They should probably give the ball more to Ashton Genty. They really should. But in the end, he's already 3rd in the NFL right now in aggressive throws. So that's Geno. If you speed Geno up, he makes some bad decisions. And in New York, he was a disaster. In Seattle, it was reclamation and a great story. But a great story doesn't mean a great quarterback. So I think Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly are a little trapped here. They wanted Stafford. I think privately they'd never admit it. They probably thought Darnold, younger in his prime with some career momentum. But, this is what they've got. The 4th best quarterback in the division. Again, Chip Kelly knew him from Ohio State. Apparently they had a relationship. He recruited him. Pete Carroll had him in Seattle. They like him. He's a likable guy. But last night, you're watching that game, and my takeaway is you're a 4th place team in that division with that offense currently. And here's Pete on Geno's struggles.
He had a lot of time back there. He had a chance to look and see, didn't like what he saw underneath, and gave those guys some shots down the field, which he's tremendous at doing. We were impatient with the throwing game, and that's why the ball went down the field so far, and I don't think we needed to do that. It's disappointing. I know that the picks are a big issue, but that's not my concern. My concern is why we didn't get the ball thrown and caught underneath.
Yeah, I mean, 0 for 10 throwing downfield. Some of it is, in fairness, some of it is this. The Chargers defense is really good. That's part of it. But it'll be interesting because, Pete has a history. Marshawn Lynch, Lendale White, Reggie Bush. They draft Ashton Genty. Like, Pete likes a strong running game. And so Pete's got to marry, his offense and his philosophy with Chip Kelly. They're both smart guys. I think it'll be fine. But watching that game last night, I thought this has got to be driving Pete Carroll crazy, because when they won a Super Bowl with Russell Wilson, I think Russell Wilson, you could go look it up, that year was like 22nd in pass attempts. Like, that was the perfect team. Play defense, special teams, run the ball, and some big throws downfield over the top. That was always sort of the USC and Seattle prescription for Pete. Big plays over the top, run the ball, control the clock, very few turnovers. So all this stuff with the Raiders is baking. They've got a good coach, a great offensive coordinator. They've got some playmakers, but it's part of the rebuild. The young GM people like, we'll see. Herd hierarchy, top of the hour. And, I'm watching the Chargers last night. As bad as New York football is as great as LA football is. So, I was thinking about this with A.J. Brown of the Philadelphia Eagles, who's unhappy. But let me defend the star wide receiver. Now, there's a lot of receivers I will not defend. It's an ego position. But if you were an attorney, and you were a great young attorney, you're a hot shot, came out of the Ivy League, you go to a law firm, and you just can't, they don't give you any of the good cases. And after about 2 or 3 years, you're like, listen, man, I got other places where I can be potentially a partner and a star. We would totally understand if you took your career elsewhere. When Jalen Brunson was with the Mavericks and couldn't get the ball in his hands because of Luka, he went to the Knicks, and we all understood. A.J. Brown, I would have no problem if he asked for a trade. Philadelphia is run first, run second, and tight end friendly. I mean, they since the beginning of last year, no team has thrown fewer passes. And when they do, Devontae Smith on the other side's also great. So this year he's got 6 catches for 35 yards. And to double down on that, this is a guy that's not only playing in the most run-centric offense in the league for the last year, he came from Tennessee, who previously to the Eagles was the most run-centric offense with Derrick Henry. So he's like an NBA player that he's a star and he can't get shots. We would be, okay, Jalen Brunson, he needs to go to New York. He needs to run the show, and we're okay with that. But in football, everybody get in line, everybody be a team guy. Like Philadelphia, he's a luxury for somebody that doesn't need him. I mean, he's a heated seats in Phoenix or an Olympic-sized backyard pool in Anchorage. I mean, it's just like he's not needed for Philadelphia, and they need another corner to be on the other side of Mitchell. So, I mean, like, Philadelphia is not a perfect team. And even when Jalen Hurts does throw down the field, this morning, this grind run first team, Jalen Hurts is like 2 for 8 passing 10+ yards downfield. They don't throw it downfield well, and they don't throw it downfield much. And so I totally get him. It's not like this Tyreek Hill situation in Miami. They threw the ball. Tua, he was the number one part of the offense. They didn't have a great O-line in Miami. They didn't have a great run game. Philadelphia's got the best run game arguably in a decade. And they have a quarterback that is not a deep ball thrower. He's not necessarily your traditional quarterback. Their number one offensive play is a tush push. All right, it's not a deep ball. So I get it. And AJ's been a good guy. He's trying to be a nice guy, but I'm going to defend him. We would understand in the NBA if a guy just didn't get shots and he was a great player. A.J. Brown, I mean, he's in a short list with Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase, Amon-Ra St. Brown. He is on a short list of great receivers in this league. So he's talking about, here he is on the Eagles' kind of sluggish offensive start.
The goal is to win the game. So, no matter what that looks like, I think the reason why people may talk about it because they want to know if it's substantial, and can you sustain that throughout the season. So, I think that's fair. I think that's a fair thing to talk about. But, our job is to continue to try to find a way to win.
So Jalen Hurts is dead last in pass attempts going back to the beginning of last season. And Philadelphia is 20-3 in those games. So they're not going to change for him. They've got their culture. The good news for A.J. Brown is it's the best trading team in the league. And I know Howie Roseman wants him over in the AFC. And I don't know if Baltimore maybe is looking at something or Buffalo. Maybe it's not a great team. I don't know what it is. Maybe the Chargers give a call. But I feel for him. He is an unbelievable talent. He's right in the middle of his prime, and he goes from the run-centric Titans to the even more run-centric Eagles, and I don't blame him at all for being disappointed. He's a pro athlete. He's not an attorney. He can't do this for 50 years, right? He's got about 3 to 4 more years of prime, And you got to feed him. He wants to eat.